In addition to the impending charges of two instances of aggravated violent assault, one while handcuffed, my back handcuffed, and my forehead, my head grabbed from behind and scrubbed into the asphalt at the base of the staircase at these units, followed by the police taking me by a Calvary hospital, the most biphobic by name hospital. I know what they're into is strategizing towards lining up bisexuals with the human sacrifice ritual that they are to suggest Jesus volunteered himself into. I think even going back to the Abraham, God wants to know, Abraham, will you sacrifice your son Isaac, all the way to him being about to sacrifice him, and then they go, congratulations, you've passed the test. That was the test. We just wanted to know if you were gonna sacrifice him. Now that you were about to, you've passed the test and don't have to. The proper moral response to that is, what a fuck up of a God would want to test you for complicity in human sacrifice, test you for the intent, and then call you holy because you demonstrated that you would have harbored the intent. And yet this is taught in churches to be amongst some of God's many great and noble teachings, but those sworn, they require the Gospel of John. Those sworn to the lordship of Jesus, they require that because that's explicitly incarnate, like that's incarnation explicit. But yeah, and then what? This is why I say there's the twofold gradient curve about speech becoming more elaborate, more anti-political for its time, in going from Mark to Matthew, Luke, then to John's, and the insertion of pagan, plagiarized miracle stories. You also find, the shifting of the accusatory question marks, are you the king of the Jews, been an inappropriate question to ask a slave or a member of a conquered people, a flag is waving or is a symbol he's wearing as a superhero in a superhero's uniform in the Gospel of John, running uphill, going, for I am the king of the Jews, so I'll lay down my life willingly. He never said any of these things, and anyone deciding that they're calling him his Lord because he laid down his life, they're incoherent, and the death of bisexuals to them is exciting, and the religion as a whole is not just oppression of bisexuals. It's it's an obstruction of the view that a bisexual is a natural occurrence. You know, you aren't asking questions you aren't asking questions of studies who go, well, we've studied some monkeys. It seems claims like pair bonding species, despite weddings being an invention of the human church, calling us a pair bonding species is a fair call, because if those drafting out tests to survey monkeys were to just study the relationship between one male and one female monkey when together, then they're going to come out and say, oh, they're pair bonding, since they're our closest ancestor in evolutionary terms, then or our cousin, then then clearly church invented wedding ceremonies have been passed up through the evolutionary gene pool since we were amoebas. In fact, we've even found an old scroll that says, King James Version, when one amoeba and another amoeba meet, and they have placed on their external silica hairs concealed wedding rings, it's only because they want to hide them from the microscopic studies of amoebas. But love for the religion of the United Kingdom, love for the Abrahamic religion, it can be found on all forms of germs, amoebas, all type of fungi, birds and flowers that pollinate. Their types of wedding ceremonies, they're encrypted in a language that I doubt you'll decipher. But they're proof that this pair bonded monogamy is it's absolutely in. It hasn't come from ideology, has it? No. Even if the church invented it, certainly hasn't, has it? So, while telling you that an emotion like jealousy is a way to be more godlike, more like God, that's a term that more emulative of the traits of the of God of monotheism, of the God of the Abrahamic faith. You're being told the more jealous you get, the more jealousy you experience, the more your emotional makeup is corresponding to that of the created God in the Abrahamic faith. So what's very important, I think, is that it be disclosed, not just the source of who's publishing results, but qualifications in what areas, and also religious beliefs, especially if they may have bearing on results. Because though it's true that the National Academy of Sciences is 90, I understand to be between 95-98% atheist agnostic, I doubt that it's equivalent here. Uh, so